Hello and welcome to tonight's Watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. Brought to you by this week's sponsor, Hammer Plus, the better hammer. Not just two hammers taped together. It's three hammers taped together. I'm Duncan, and with me as always is my co-host, Sir Feather. Well, Throners, it's been a long wait, but GOT is back. This week's episode has a ton to unpack, so let's get right into it. First off, we see the aftermath of the betrayal at Castle Black. Jon Snow is dead, but perceptive viewers have noticed that he might not be dead. Whoa, don't get too crazy, Sir Feather. That book hasn't even been written yet. Either way, this was an action-packed episode. I mean, Sansa Stark, the Dothraki, a naked senior citizen... Wait, Sir Feather, no! Don't chew on that cable. We need it for the trans... Valar Morghulis, Throners, and welcome to tonight's Watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. This week's episode is brought to you by the law offices of Fabio and Horwitz. That's right, Fabio has a law firm, and he's made partner. I'm Duncan, and filling in for Sir Feather this week is my special guest co-host, Athdor of House Caferos.
Hail and well met, Sir Duncan. I will shield your back and keep your counsel, and give my life...
Great. Well, Throners, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this episode left no doubt Jon Snow is alive.
The Lord Commander breathes?
That's right, Athdor. He could always get crushed by a big rock or die from some kind of congenital heart defect, but that's what's so great about Game of Thrones. Anything could happen. Let's look at some of the analysis on Twitter.
Hold there! What is that glowing ingot?
Oh, this? It's my phone.
With this device, House Caferos will ascend to the Iron Throne! I must have it!
Let go.
For Caferos!
He hit me with his shield. Greetings, Throners, and welcome to tonight's Watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. Brought to you by this week's sponsor, Dave's Used Lawnmower. Works great, $75 or best offer. Ask for Dave. I'm Duncan, and I'm joined this week by Maester Text-to-Speech, a robot that has been programmed to analyze Game of Thrones. Say hello, Maester Text-to-Speech.
Game of Thrones.
That's right. Let's start unpacking this week's episode. What stuck out most to me has got to be Bran's flashback. It's an exciting scene, but it differs from the book in several crucial ways.
Game of Thrones.
Well, yes, if you'll just let me finish. Now, what Bran sees takes place during Robert's Rebellion, so called because the main insurgent is named Robert.
Game of Thrones.
Maester Text-to-Speech, please, you need to let me finish my analysis. This is the golden age of television.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Hold on. Maybe if I adjust the settings on this. Here we go.
Game of.
Previously on tonight's Watch.
And I'm joined this week by Maester Text-to-Speech, a robot that has been programmed to analyze Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Hold on. Maybe if I adjust the settings on this.
Game of.
Greetings, Throners, and welcome to tonight's Watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. This week's sponsor is the Affordable Care Act. I'm Duncan, and I'm recording this week's installment from the ICU. I don't remember how I got here, but there's a TV, so I was able to watch Game of Thrones, which is all that matters. Joining me this week is my special co-host, my nurse, Gladys.
Sir, you need to rest. You've suffered severe burns all over your body, and a concussion from when the firefighter dropped you.
Welcome to tonight's Watch, Gladys. The latest episode was a non-stop thrill ride, highlighted by the exploits of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, first of her name.
Sir, please calm down. You inhaled a lot of smoke. Don't make me up your morphine.
I may have fallen in the flames, but like the Khaleesi herself, I will rise from the ashes of my garage to reclaim my podcast.
All right, here comes the big M.
Khaleesi, I love you.
Previously on tonight's Watch.
I'm recording this week's installment from the ICU.
Don't make me up your morphine. Here comes the big M.
Greetings, Throners, and welcome to tonight's watch, unbounded by time or matter. This week's sponsor is a soft blue radiance glowing all around me. I'm Duncan, and I've slipped into the ether. It's so peaceful, so beautiful. I don't have a co-host this week unless... Wait, someone approaches. It's an old man with a bushy white beard. Is it God? No, wait, even better, it's George R.R. Martin.
Hello, Duncan. Welcome to the realm of light.
George, it's such an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me, for everything you've done for all of us.
Duncan, would you like to know how Game of Thrones ends?
Yes, more than anything else. Please tell me, Mr. Martin.
The answer is right before you, Duncan. The dragons, the pirates, the zombies. It couldn't be more clear. Clear.
Wait, what? What couldn't be more
Clear!
George, don't leave me.
Patient has regained consciousness and semi-normal breathing. Looks like we'll need a bedpan, though.
No, I was so close. Put me back in the coma, please. Anything but waiting for the rest of the books. Howdy, Throners, and welcome to tonight's watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. This week's episode is brought to you by Liquid Bassinet, the only non-prescription sleep aid for infants. Nighty-night. I'm Duncan, and despite my recent stay at the hospital and the fact that my house and garage burned down in an electrical fire, I'm still here, in the parking lot of my local grocery store, where it's very cold. I wasn't able to watch this week's Game of Thrones, but hopefully my co-host has. This guy. Hail and well met, good sir. Are you by chance a traveler of the Seven Kingdoms?
Man, you, mother.
All right. How about this lady? Greetings, fair maiden. Have thee a moment to...
Creep!
Ow! My eyes! It burns like the fiery breath of Rhaegal himself.
Officer, help! That creep tried to attack me.
What? No, I only wanted to whisk her away to a wondrous land of magic and tasteful nudity.
All right, well, I'm about to whisk you away to a wondrous land called County Lockup. Come here.
Hey, get off! Ow! Ow, my eyes!
Calm down, sir. Calling in a code 288. Yeah, real pervert. I'm bringing him in now.
Previously on tonight's watch.
I'm still here, in the parking lot of my local grocery store. Greetings, fair maiden. Have thee a moment to...
Creep!
Ow!
Officer, help! That creep tried to attack me.
Well, I'm about to whisk you away to a wondrous land called County Lockup.
Ow!
Wrestling.
Greetings, Throners, and welcome to tonight's watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. This week's episode is brought to you by Parking Lot Tycoon, the most realistic parking lot management and security simulator on the market, available only for Windows 95. I'm Duncan, recording this week's podcast from County Lockup, but I won't despair, for Cersei Lannister was also imprisoned in the Sept of Baelor, and when she was released, I'm joined this week by my co-host and cellmate, Ringworm, who doesn't know what Game of Thrones is, but he does have a lot of interesting theories about the government. Welcome to tonight's watch, Ringworm.
They turn the lights back on after we go to sleep, and they got computers in the lights, and there's little beeps and boops, and you can taste them in the food, too. Little beeps and boops down my throat and in my tummy.
All right. So I wasn't able to watch this week's Game of Thrones. I can only imagine what exciting developments occurred this week by closing my eyes and escaping this place.
You don't close your eyes. You close your eyes, and you get the bugs in you, and you get the bugs in you, and you're just you gotta cut them out. You gotta cut them out. 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 Cut them out.
Help me!
Prisoner disturbance observed in holding container 23. Deploy the bugs.
Oh God! I knew it. I knew it. Ah!
Previously on tonight's watch.
I'm Duncan, recording this week's podcast from County Lockup.
Prisoner disturbance observed in holding container 23.
Greetings, Throners, and welcome to tonight's watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. This week's episode is brought to you by Tacos by Mail, the only 48-hour taco delivery service that brings delicious Mexican food right to your mailbox. Tacos by Mail. Don't forget the guacamole.
Mr. Tolkien, I have asked you several times to be quiet while you're in my courtroom.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's just that I need to do my Game of Thrones podcast right now. If I don't, that only leaves fans a few hundred other options for getting caught up.
What? You're taping a podcast right now? Bailiff, please seize the defendant's pocket recorder.
No! My audio fan fiction! No!
Mr. Tolkien. Wait, is your last name really Tolkien?
Yes, I had it legally changed before I discovered Game of Thrones.
As to the charges against you, public indecency, resisting arrest, destruction of police property.
That cop broke his nightstick on my face!
For these charges, in the case of the People versus Duncan Tolkien, the court finds you...
How will Duncan fare in this trial by courtroom? Will he walk away a free man? Or will he spend the rest of his days clapped in irons? Or perhaps a third thing will happen. Find out on next week's Tonight's Watch. Oh, what a cliffhanger. Previously on Tonight's Watch.
As to the charges against you, public indecency, resisting arrest, destruction of police property.
That cop broke his nightstick on my face!
For these charges, in the case of the People versus Duncan Tolkien, the court finds you... The court finds you not guilty.
Yay!
Yes, the defendant has clear delusions of living in some kind of fantasy elf world. His life is prison enough.
Lord of Light be praised! Though, Your Honor, there are actually no elves in George R.R. Martin's thrilling...
Bailiff, get him out of here.
Walk, piss elf.
Again, elves do not appear in the... Freedom. Sweet freedom. Now I can do whatever I want. Greetings, Throners, and welcome to Tonight's Watch, part of the Late Show Pod People Network. This week's episode is brought to you by Beef Briefs, the only men's undergarments infused with real ribeye steak. And I'm not just a Beef Brief spokesman, I'm also a customer. In fact, I'm wearing a pair right now.
Agnes, butcher, no!
Previously on Tonight's Watch.
Hello, Duncan. I'm St. Peter.
Where am I?
Well, Duncan, look around you. What do you see?
Clouds. Rays of light. Beautiful angelic creatures. Is this... Bravos?
No, it's heaven. You're in heaven, Duncan.
Heaven? I'm... dead? But there's so much I wanted to do on Earth. Specifically, I'm several episodes behind in Game of Thrones. Hey, do you know what happens with Daenerys? I really love her speeches.
Sorry, I'm really more of a bloodline guy. But I might know some people who could help you out.
Hello, Duncan. Welcome to heaven. The real North.
Ned Stark!
Greetings, Duncan.
Miranda!
Hail and well met, Duncan. Welcome to heaven.
Tyrion! Wait, Tyrion, you're dead?
Whoops, I guess you haven't gotten that far yet. But hey, we can get you caught up real quick. We've got all the episodes through Season 8 up here. And a sweet projection TV.
Wow, heaven rules!
Game of Thrones.
I should have died a long time ago.